Welcome back. We'd like to remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website. That's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'd also like to encourage you to use the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. Also on healthcare now, the Nigeria Medical Association is calling for a comprehensive overhaul of health facilities and an upgrade of personnel using PPP platforms across states of the Federation. The call was made at the end of a week-long summit in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Stakeholders at the summit agree that primary healthcare facilities in the state must be properly rehabilitated and strengthened for efficiency, while secondary units should be upgraded to meet the present health challenges of the people.
It's a gathering of medical doctors in Oyo State. They are here to chart a course on how to reposition the health sector. The Chief Medical Director at the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, wants the state government to partner with the federal government in order to strengthen primary healthcare services across the state.
I hope the Oyo State reform agenda for the health sector will inculcate a structured referral system from the primary healthcare providers through the secondary healthcare services to the tertiary institutions. I strongly believe that this is a tool for research and data collection, which will assist with healthcare planning in the country, beginning with Oyo State.
Speakers at the summit insist that no amount of reforms in the health sector can bring about the desired result if health practitioners do not have positive attitudinal change to work.
It is high time governments realized that the level of productivity of a worker is directly related to the size of his health, to the status of his health. Hence, nothing should be done to impair the health of the workers. Here, I'm talking of the total health of the worker, physical, mental, and psychological, including regular payment of his salary, without which his physical and psychological well-being will be impaired. Government is to formulate policies and see to its implementation through various institutions.
At the end of the meeting, a communique is submitted, and the Medical Association agrees that the resolutions will be effective if implemented.
There are challenges of dilapidated structures, understaffing, poor logistics support for the discharge of the NLC services. The universal health care coverage concept can only work effectively well when the primary health care services is strengthened. There is strong need to quickly domesticate the National Health Act by the state government through the establishment of the State Primary Health Care Board or agency. Also of strong importance is the commencement of the Community Health Insurance Scheme. Government should create an emergency fund domiciled in the State Ministry of Health and strong collaboration with the State Emergency Management Agency.
Meanwhile, the Oyo State government has shown interest in partnering with the Nigerian Medical Association to strengthen healthcare services at all levels in the state.
An audit report by the Nigeria Extractive Industry and Transparency Initiative, NATI, is accusing the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation of refusing to remit $3.8 billion and 358.3 billion naira to the Federation in 2013. The Minister of Solid Minerals and Chairman of the NATI Board, Kayode Fayemi, said the audit showed the total revenue flow into the Federation account from the oil and gas sector in 2013 was about $58.07 billion. This represents about 8% decline when compared to $62.9 billion realized in 2012. Mr. Fayemi said the decline was attributed to the drop in oil and gas sales following divestment of Federation equity in some oil mining leases, crude oil losses as a result of destruction of production facilities, pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft. The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Mr. Ayuba Waba, may have called off the industrial action and also is ready to negotiate with the federal government, but he is insisting that the union will remain consistent in their demands as relates to issues of the increase in the price of petrol. The NLC is demanding for a timeline for which the new price increase would last, pending when the country's refineries will be fixed, as Nigeria cannot continue to depend on importation of fuel. He was a guest on our breakfast program, Sunrise Daily.
When we are coming to the table, we thought that we should have timeline within which we should be able to exist this measure that have been put in place, that is the hike in price. And therefore, we must also agree, like we did in 2011, documented, when do we think we can be able to move into the next phase of fixing our refineries and also addressing the issue of bunkering and sabotage going on, because we have realized that what is going on in the oil and gas sector, where most of our facilities are vandalized, is because of the fact that it is cheaper and easier, and you make quick money when you import and dispose of it. And therefore, it's like an incentive to those people that it is easier and cheaper actually to import products instead of the issue of working towards the refineries. And that's why it has been very difficult, despite the fact that as far back as 2011, more than 6 companies were given licenses to actually build refineries. They thought that that would be a waste of resources, it would try the resources, and therefore there is no guarantee, especially the fact also that this process have led to what is happening now.
Meanwhile, the governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, has been speaking on why he supports the decision of the federal implementation of the new price of petrol. Speaking at an event in Benin City, the state capital, he says the situation where half of the nation's earnings are spent on subsidizing petrol is no longer tenable. He then asked Nigerians to endure for a while, as the gains of the subsidy removal will begin to show soon.
The truth is, the fundamentals have changed. Under President Obasanjo, we are talking of 20 billion for subsidy, 20 billion naira. And Obasanjo will ask me, comrade, 20 billion can build X kilometer of road. I think the last numbers was about 40 to 45 billion naira a year for subsidy. Now from this figure, which was basically about opportunity cost, the last government, under President Goodluck, quadrupled the numbers to 1.2 trillion naira. When your total earning is about 2 trillion, and you spend more than half for petrol, so if we spend all our money, half of it in subsidy, will we drink petrol without vehicle on which to ride? It simply doesn't make sense anymore. When a nation and a people could not, for good reasons, trust the leadership, even when the leadership asks you to make sacrifices, the first question you ask, if I'm making sacrifices, what about you? Obviously, for a government that was sharing money for defense to party leaders, that government didn't have the moral standing to call on Nigerians to make sacrifices. So I think that the trust line that was missing, having a president that cares, a president that is not corrupt, a president that commands respect within the country and outside the country. When he asks you, change your ways of life, look at my own lifestyle, let's all restart. We have all sinned in the past. Let us repent so that we might not sin again. I think it makes sense to listen, it makes sense to travel.
Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole. You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, the Kogi State Governor insists on civil service reforms before disbursing bailout funds. Don't go away.